just, I don't know.
It's just not the same. Like,
I don't understand how people play with music, like, instead of listening to the game audio. It doesn't make sense to me. But whatever.
Me neither.
Whatever.
No, like I usually treat music as a last resort when it comes to stuff like that because of that exact reason.
Yeah. I like the only time when it really does make sense is if you're like, oh, the crowd is just like super annoying or obnoxious. But in that case, I feel like what really makes sense is to get like if you're if you have a crowd that is often being annoying or you're a top player, that's an issue. I'd get an AV splitter, and then you can just plug your own personal headset into the AV ports or whatever. That's what there's this guy who plays Sheik actually in MDVA who does that.
Hmm.
So he
Okay.
like plugs his headphones directly into the CRT.
Huh. What's the Sheik player's tag?
Yinja.
Yinja. Okay. I was gonna be like, is it Plank?
I don't think Plank doesn't play anymore. He came. The last tournament he attended was actually my tournament, so that was cool.
Okay. That's cool. So, let's get down to business. So,
Yes.
it sounds like you've been killing it. Some ups and downs, but overall, it seems like the things that we're working on, you've seen pretty good strides in. So my question here is, where do you want to go from here today? What would be productive?
Well, it's a little weird. I'm feeling like so there's two matchups I need to work on. Like I feel like right now, and that's Marth and Falco. Wouldn't you know, the two of the best characters in the game.
Attracts, like that's part of why they're good. You have to know stuff.
Yep, exactly. I think that literally is part of it. It's just like the game plan feels so non-linear because whatever I do, I really have to adapt to the Falco, to the Marth, and like what they're doing, and that's where I'm starting to feel like I struggle. There's this one Marth Takeshi, and when he's on, it just feels like I cannot get around his sword. I try to run up in CC, and he spaces around the CC, or he downers me, or he grabs me. I'm like, and I do have so I played at the G Weekly on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday in DC. I don't know if you saw the results from that, but I beat a fox named Seek, who's really good. And I've never beaten them, but I've come very close, but never actually managed to take it. And then I double eliminated Melon, who's a pretty good mark. And I got double eliminated in winners finals and then in grand finals by this Marth named Takeshi. And Takeshi is like definitely he's someone I beat before. He's someone I know I can beat, but I'd like to look at the VOD. And I also think that like later, as it got late into the tournament, my play did deteriorate a little bit, but I think some of my bad habits still show. I haven't looked at the VODs myself, but there's in Slippy files because there was no stream, so I'm gonna send those to you now.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. Wait.
Ah, excellent. Okay, so let's see here. So boom, 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 boom. And let's get these into the Slippy folder, so we can actually yeah. So they'll appear, and we'll just refresh this. So, talk to me about your. Okay, so you said it was, what was the guy's name again?
Takeshi.
Takeshi. Oh wait, what? Okay, I guess what would be the tags that these would be under? Would it just be like player or something, or?
The tags that these be yeah, probably just play or something.
Okay, so that's okay. So they're not appearing, but that's fine. What I'll do is, where's Slippy? Because they should have been the ones that are new, so it'd be date modified, I think, right? Yeah. So... Okay, here we go. So what are
we have quite a rivalry. We've been playing since BMW. First time we played was BMW 13. Damn.
So just to confirm, the first stage is Battlefield?
Yeah, we started Battlefield.
Okay, cool. So this would be game 1.
But we've played 15 sets lifetime, and the record is currently 8-7 in my favor.
Gotcha, okay. So, let's start. And we'll slow this down to about 80, because let's actually try to get through these. And we'll go from there.
Okay.
So, talk to me about the strategy in this matchup. Like, what's your plan, basically?
Let me see if I can,
Around...
freeze it? Pause it?
Yeah, it's frozen. It stopped.
Okay, cool. My game plan is to get Marth to try and overcommit with an aerial, or to try and run up and grab me, and get stuffed out by my tilts or my grab or needles. And I try to use needles to stop Marth from just dash dancing in the corner or dashing back over and over. And yeah, like try to never be above Marth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part of it. And get Marth off stage. Definitely, like, try to just, like, get Marth off stage as fast as I can.
Okay, fair enough. Let me ask you something. So in this spot, because we've just opened this game and we have Marth and Sheik about, like, in these positions. With where Marth is, where does his fair hit?
Well, it's hard for me to, you know, it covers basically all the way, I was gonna say, to, like, just sort of to the edge of the platform, maybe a little past it, right? Or, like right around there.
Yeah, okay, so cool. So my question here is, because he can kind of cover, it starts here and goes to here, so it makes, like, this motion. Can we get, what should we be doing then?
I mean, I could run up and CC, like, right in front of him.
So where do you do it? Do you do it here, or do you do it here?
Obviously, I do it, like, way as close in as possible. But, like, as close...
Why is that obvious?
Because otherwise he'll get tippered, and then, like, not only is it stronger, makes it hard to CC, it's, like, I mean, he's further away, and it's harder for me to get a follow-up.
Sure, but what I'm saying is we can, like, we know where his fair ends, right? Like, it ends around here, so what if we crouched here?
Oh. So, like, where we don't get hit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'm thinking, like, his range of motion, right? We'll just use the, orange for Marth. Like, he jumped up like this, right? So his, like, fall trajectory is probably, like, somewhere between here and here. Like, between these points, basically. So I'm thinking that, like, his fair can be a little bit further back. It can be a little bit further forward, depending on how he does it. But, like, he can't go further than about here with his fair. So I'm thinking if we just stop here, then we're in a really good spot, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because he's in landing lag. We're really close by. I don't know. What do you think? What else could we do here?
So, I mean, as he's coming down, I mean, I could maybe full hop. And then try to, like, you know, just full hop sort of in this space.
Mm-hmm. Like, up here?
Yeah, like right around here.
Why full hop?
Because full hop beats a lot of Marth's options. Like, he has to read it with his own full hop.
Couldn't he just, like, go up and then see us doing it and double jump fair?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, but couldn't I, like, I guess he could react to it. Do you not think that there's a case where I can fast fall in time to get out of harm's way and then be under Marth?
I think we can do... I don't think that we can do that with full hop. I think what we can do, though... I think that jump is a good call. What I'm thinking is, like, more like... Our jump trajectory kind of, like, goes like this, right? So what I'm thinking is that after he gets past a certain point in the air, like once he starts falling past around like this height, once he starts like going down around here, then I think then we can like kind of come on top of him, because his fare is pulling away from us as he's going down, right? Because his fare trajectory is also going down with him. So then at that point, we can just kind of like land on top of him. It's kind of like how he lands on us sometimes when we're like, when he gets on top of us and we're both like falling together. Yeah, so we can do that to him too.
How do I get back to the chat?
Oh, there should just be like an option for it. What are you on your phone?
No. I don't know why this is...
Oh, click the picture or something, I think. And then, no. Wait, is there a drop-down menu? Hide chat, like bottom left?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to take notes on Notepad.
Okay. Fair enough. But I did send you this picture, though, so it should be, like, you should have it. Yeah, I don't know what it would have done.
I don't know. I'm just being incompetent, I think. I found it.
Okay. Good. Good. What I'm getting at, though, is I think that we have to be a little bit more... With what you're describing, especially after I see how this interaction plays out in the match, I think that we're a little, like, too swing happy, and we're trying to, like, interact with what Marth's hits are a lot. But I think that we can also just, like, kind of wait outside them more. Like, you could make a lot of these counterattacks work on his, like as a punish on his, like, aerials and stuff. But what I'm saying is, why do we necessarily have to take the damage? Okay.
Something I did notice is that, I mean, I know about this about myself. When I'm in disadvantage, I have a really bad habit of spot dodging. And I think I do it a lot here, and he punishes it by just, like, doing a dash dance grab.
That's normal. Like, that's actually a really normal habit, and it's something that's good to work on. So the interesting thing here is that you don't do the spot dodge here, but I would still consider this jab and forward tilt out of disadvantage to be the same thing. Because
I know, and I've thought about this because it's the same amount of time. So he punishes it exactly the same.
So what would be the mix-up then?
To dash back.
Dash back, buffer roll, buffer jump. Like, anything that gets us out of that spot. That is the goal.
Yeah, it's like, because my brain is obviously doing this thing where it's like, oh, instead of spot dodging, I'm F-tilting, I'm mixing it up, but I'm not really mixing it up.
Yeah, because it's just another undershoot, if we think of it that way. Like, not exactly, because spot dodges are different, but, like, they still fulfill the same purpose. Like, they're designed to deal with, like, they're self-defense designed to deal with a threat that comes in to our zone. So, yeah, same function, really. So, let's walk through... Yeah, you get that... What are we doing with our combos here? Like, what, like... So we get this down here. The soft back air, okay. So you wanted to go for something, like, fancy, and he DI'd away, basically.
Yeah.
It's okay. These things happen. But I am starting to see where the game plan needs to be solidified. Like, we need a better structure overall.
I agree.
So what do you think's missing right now?
He's just, like, he's hitting me way more than I'm hitting him. I'm not, like, he's getting good stuff off CC. I'm not. He's, like, I'm trying to hit him a lot, and, like, he's getting, like, up tilts on me. that are just sort of like, what are you saying? Negating what I'm trying to do. And yeah, I would say those are the big things. Also, I feel like my combos were pretty sloppy here. I need to practice down throw instant up air. So that's just something that's like, that I'm working on outside of this.
This is, I think, the best play I've seen you do so far. And it's something simple, but it just like, so you're dealing with his like offense, you wave dash back, and then look at how perfect this timing is. Like, that, I think, is, like, if there's something we need, it's more things like that. Because right now, you're just being you're being extremely direct, and you're not really, like, going after him when he's in cooldown. Or when, like, and I get that down tilt is probably something that he could have, like, done something else on, but look at how much mileage you get when you're just willing to go second once in a while. Like, you do it again here. Like, with that, watch how you do this bit here. Once you get into the corner. So you see him crouch there, and you just go for it. You wait for it. You go for it after the fact. Then you back off here. Like, this to me is like kind of Sheik Marth in a nutshell. Now, you got out of position by going above him there, and I think that they messed up your movement. But, like, this matchup is very, like, it's very... Neither of them want to go first, I think. And when you're...
I see what you're saying. When I'm, like... It's just... Okay... I can see, like, the value of sort of taking center against Marth and then using that space to retreat into corner slowly and then trying to take center again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not to just solely retreat, but to try to, like, get Marth to do something and, like, use that space to outspace Marth. And the more space I have to do that, the better.
Yeah, like, these are the two best footsie characters in the game, other than maybe Captain Falcon. So it makes sense that, like, these two would, like, have a very hot and cold, like, back and forth dynamic, because that's kind of their whole thing. So what I noticed at the beginning is that you're being, like, you're trying to push into his space so you can score counter attack, but, like, Marth has more range than you, so he can outrange that. What your advantage is that, like, when you're in a good position, your buttons are better, and you're competitive with him in mid-range because of your efficiency. But, like, he ultimately is slightly more efficient than you overall in, like, mid-range neutral, and we have to kind of respect that and not just try to force the issue when we're not set up. Like, this is all really good. You see how this is working?
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, that is the best play that you've had this game. This is all gold. I would, like, if there's a stretch that we, like, copy and, like, take with us to the next, into, like, for future games, this whole section and the dash attacks, the whiff punishes, those would be the things I'd prioritize.
I think I, like, again, get a little too antsy. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I'm just firing needles.
So, let's talk about needles, because, like, these are a really valuable tool for helping us versus our opponent's, like, low percent games. So, what is the opening you're looking for these needles?
Well, I thought you might drop down, but he really doesn't fall for that often, especially, like, when I was just charging or something. He knows I'm scouting for it.
So what I would suggest is, what's the next step of that then? So if he knows that you're, like, if you're trying to get him to fall into that and he won't,
Ooh. So I start to, like, move forward a little bit. I can charge needle cancel, and then run up and be, like, underneath him.
Yeah.
I can up air him before he's, like, able to really get down. If, like, I'm underneath him, his fair's not going to hit me well. He's going to have to try to commit to down air or something. But it's a little bit slower.
I'd probably fair instead of up air, just because it's more efficient overall with when we can fast fall it, and it also hits above you, and, like, it hits in a convenient spot. But, like, other than that minor edit, everything you're saying I agree with. I think that all sounds great.
I also can, I mean, at this percent, I can ASDI down while I'm charging, right? While I'm charging needle.
Absolutely.
Well. So that's, like, also a good thing to, like, in case he, like, jumps, I miss space slightly, or, like, he lunges forward to try to get me, I do have a chance of, like, getting away, maybe not a counter hit, but at least escape.
The other thing you can do is you can also head up onto this side platform. So something cool about needles that people don't really use, except in the Jigglypuff matchup, but it's actually quite cool, and maybe sometimes in edge guards. But, like, remember, your needles have two trajectories. You have the one that shoots forward, like this, You have the one, and it also on side plat it would be here, and technically you have it on top plat, but I'm gonna just leave that out for the sake of like easiness. And then you have like the 45 or 50 degree. I don't know what it actually is, but like you have this angle too when you go up with your jump, right? And then this varies depending on how many needles you throw and like how high you go. So like maybe it's around here, like maybe this is the range, because I think that looks about right. But the point is that you have these like you have these two sets of ranges that you can use to like attack with them from. So a lot of times if you're like using one of them if you're using one of them, and then you go on to the other, like you can kind of switch between the two of them. Like if you go up to this side platform doing the diagonal ones, and he stays up there, you can actually like. If you go up to here doing this on diagonal ones and he stays up here, you then threaten him with the horizontal one upon landing. So that's kind of something you can use. You can also then store them, run off fair.
Oh, so yeah. Like I can full hop, charge needle, like
to control these ones.
If he runs off, I throw them, and if he doesn't run off, I land and throw them.
Or cancel them and bait, because like he'd see you that you've landed here, so then he probably drops. Yeah.
Of course. But that's what I'm threatening, at least.
Yeah. And it's really good versus Jigglypuff, because, like, it's really good versus characters that like to, like, hang out in this area, like, around here. Because what happens is, they're here, they go up to basically avoid dealing with you, right? But then what goes up has to come down, so when they enter this zone again, you can just shoot them across the stage. You can do similar things with ground characters. It's just the ordering's a little more dynamic because ground characters are more flexible generally, just because of how ground movement works. But yeah, like you have way more reach on the stage than you think you do. You don't have to give these up so freely. Like, yeah, your needles are one of your most powerful tools. We should make them work for us.
Yes, I've been using them to great effect against BS. I think that Takeshi's just better at he's better at handling them, so when I was trying to use them in, like, the stupid way that I use versus BS and Melon, who I think are both actually better players than Takeshi, I think Takeshi just sort of has a few things in the Sheik game plan figured out a little bit more solidly. And he's a little bit better at dealing with needles, sure.
Cool. So let's add one more thing here, because like if this is a really important one, this is what I affectionately call the spark, even though I'm sure he stole this from me. I'm not bitter. But so when Sheik is falling is falling down from like a platform, or just in general, right? Usually, what's her like threat? What do people understand her threat range to be? Like it's usually like her fair's like here, her nair's like here, her back air's like over here. Okay, cool. So they kind of like hang out over here, right? They want to not deal with this.
Yeah, of course.
But remember, you can start charging your needles charging your needles as like basically a frame before you hit the ground. So if you're like, even if you're facing away for like back air or something like that here, like let's say you're facing this way, right? Your back air hits around here. This is the scary thing. People like play around it. But if you turn around needle around here, like around this far from the ground, you can shoot straight basically upon landing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is something that Violence once told me about. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
Oh, Violence. The Samus player?
Yeah, Violence. He went to my school, actually. My college.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't... Yeah, okay. Yeah. He knows so much about this game. Like, he's a nerd.
He's encyclopedic. You know, he's the type where it's like, well, actually, the frame data here, and like, you know, this comes out in this frame and does this many frames of, like, shield stun, and so you can only act on frame, blah, blah, blah. It's like, he knows all the shit. It's kind of wild.
The other thing I'd add, actually, now that we're on the subject of it, if Marth knows that, if the Marth or the opponent gets used to this and starts shielding in response to, like, this possible needle thing, because that's one of the things that happens. Like, they'll see you coming down with this aerial, and if they're in the air too, like, if you both come down at the same time from this platform and you, like, do the needle thing at the end, they might shield. A lot of times that's just cues for you to, like, cancel needles and then, like, rush them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, you have so many options here. Like, we need... Really, this is like a matter of Marth is very flexible and he's got a lot of different routes and like accessibility out of his like standard motions. We don't have as much as him, but we can definitely we have more than we're playing to. So we need to have a little more variety to combat his. Because, like, yeah, we could be doing so much more with what we have. Like, look at all those forward tilts in place. Like, we don't need to like flail.
No. Like I said, it was kind of late. It was the end of the tournament. I was tired. I had places to be, but like also yes, that is one of the bad habits. Like I do have certain bad habits that come out a lot in moments when I feel like my brain isn't working quite as well as I want it to. Those include spot dodge, F tilts, and just like throwing out moves in general.
Okay. So on the subject of Marth combos, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Marth, that like you hit this beautiful double hit up smash, and I love it. But here's the thing. We want to use a lot of the combos people do on Marth, at least the beginning of it, don't actually work, especially after weird scramble situations like that. What we really want to do is we want to like stay below this platform. Like this is kind of like the thing that is screwing him right now. We actually want to short hop here. Because if we short hop, we can like fair or up air at the peak of our jump anyway and kind of like cover this line. Which then like deals with where he would go on the platform, and also he falls into it. The other cool thing that this does is, what are his options, right? Like he can double jump, he can side B, he can't fair effectively because the platform's in the way. So it's like basically side B counter or double jump. SB, DB, and then DJ, no double jump. So those would be his options here to like avoid this kind of fair, right? This short up fair. Yeah. So remember, this one floats, this one stalls, this one moves him up. So like if we just do it like kind of low, if we do it like kind of to hit this area, like don't go higher than this avoids all three of them, and then you just keep going. Does that make sense?
So he side Bs, counters, or double jumps.
Yeah, because he can't fair because of the platform here, right?
Right.
He can't down air for basically the same reason. Like his down air input gets eaten. Either best case scenario, he trades and puts us on the ground, but then he still gets hit. So the ones that get him out of this are these ones, but they all keep him aloft. They either move him higher,
right,
or keep him floating.
So I short hop underneath plat, try to fair, and like if he does any of those, I can like shark with up air.
Or fair him more, like depends on where he jumps. But yeah, you just have like he's burned a recovery resource. If it's side B or down B, you just get the free hit. If it's double jump, you have to shark him. But like, yeah, you're sharking him without his jump. If he gets hit, he's dead. So you don't have to like. For me, the big key here is we want to milk this we do at Marth what Marth does to every other character. Where it's like, the combo isn't true, but it doesn't really matter, because we're just we're creating a spot where we can snowball advantage.
So when Marth is above side plan, you can't guarantee a punish. Just short hop.
Mm-hmm.
Air or up air. Jump, cover, Marth landing, flat, basically like, yeah, both of us want to get our opponents above us. Neither of us want to be above our opponents.
And both of you suck at coming down against opponents. So, like, yeah, we're doing to Marth what Marth does to every other character, because we can. Like, he's dead here. This is probably where it ends. Yep. Like, look at how much he could fight back, even with his great DI. Like, this was really well done, by the way. Why did you down smash it, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I wanted to get back and grab let me see what happened.
Yeah, sure. So this is the
Or
sequence.
no, I mean, right. Okay. After I was in the end of the first down smash, I was like, oh, I don't have time to like turn around and grab ledge maybe, or I had just literally moments before I had wanted to try that and I had fucked up and like done down smash instead, so I was like, I'll just
okay. Fair enough. So with that, let's take a look at the next one. So he goes Yoshi's? Okay, cool.
Yes.
This is actually looking better. Like, you're using your aerials more. Silly mistake, it happens. So, on the note here, I actually think that what you're doing is fine. So what are your thoughts? Like, what do you think you do when you're under Marth and, like, you're supposed to pressure him?
Up tilt.
After you see him miss that down air, what do you think the plan is?
If he whiffs down air, I could probably just up air him.
You could also nair him. Like, short up nair onto the like, automatically, like, warp onto the platform. Because, like, think about it. So, like, if we go onto the platform here, like, we're in a really good spot for pressuring him. Like, if we just come up here and, like, short up nair, hit, like, attack immediately, land on platform immediately after. Because then we can, like, shield drop, we can block, we can, like... Yeah, what do you think?
I guess I'd be, like, worried if he got shield out in time. He might be able to shield grab me.
Okay. If he gets shield out, couldn't we just run off the other side of the platform, though, and back air?
I guess it's like, yeah, if I'm fast with it. I just don't know. So...
I just think that we need to, like, look at options that are not such direct punishes.
Okay.
Like, ways of, like, pressuring him, ways that, like, things that, like, multitask, right? So, by doing the nair onto the platform, we can hit him, but if he gets his shield out in time, we're also safe on that, and we can, like, continue, and we're in a good spot. Yeah, it's just things like that. Because going for the up air, it hits a narrower area. The nair hits a larger, like, horizontal space. And as such, like, it just gives us more ways of pressuring him. The other thing you could do is just short up fair and stay under the platform. Like, short up rising fair, push him off, like, force him to recover against Sheik. Yeah, he's only at 36, but, like, it's still Yoshi's story. We've put him off stage. Like, that's good. Yeah, things like that. We don't have to go for the biggest, like, punish. We don't have to go for, like, the big combo payoff move. It's fine to just build off, like, little bits of advantage. Or medium bits of advantage. I feel like we're gonna get gimped here somehow. Okay, never mind. We reversaled. What's your edge guarding flowchart on Marth look like?
So it depends. It's like grab ledge if he's right next to me. Something like rising nair or bear. If he's like recovering at this diagonal, I like to try and needle when I'm not, running off stage and nairing. And when Marth is like a little bit further away, I grab ledge and start Sammy stalling, and wait for him to get close enough, and then if he's like really close and I see him side B, I can react and bear. But if not, then I just like Sammy stall until he's like forced to try to go to ledge.
Okay.
But it's like, it just depends on how close the Marth is, right?
Yeah. I'm noticing that I think this is where, like, the fatigue that you'd mentioned earlier is coming up. Because I'm seeing you, like, make a lot of, like, uncharacteristic, like, movement, like, small movement things. Like, not wave dashing, like, short hopping to the platform instead. Little things like that, and they're costing you a lot.
Yeah, like... I definitely, like, at this point, Yeah, I was also like, I'm in loser's side of grands. I'd have to reset and play another set. I was already late to go somewhere, but I still think that like the notes that you're giving me are super useful, even if I am like, giving up a bit or not playing my best.
I think the Dreamland match, the close one, I think this one will have some things that are worth looking at. I think that this one is a better one than the Yoshi's. That's why I sped up. That's why I looked at the Yoshi's at full normal speed.
Yeah.
Like to me, like you're already off to. This is already a good omen because you're doing more like things. Like you're baiting, you're waiting outside his range, you're like reacting to his like movements. I think that this is a common mistake that Sheik players make, like what we just saw happen. So like look at what happens when you put him off stage, right? So then you like charge the needles and he floats over them. If he does this, what do you think we should do?
Needle stop. Probably needle cancel, like run off fair, needle cancel down smash.
Yeah, I really like that because remember he's used his double jump and his side B I think to go above these. Like if we look at this, pop. So what does he have to defend himself with? Nothing.
Yeah, I guess I do worry if I do run off fair, I might get dared. But
okay, then grab the edge.
Yeah, I could grab. Grabbing edge is good.
Yeah, so like remember he has no double jump. No double jump, he has no side B. So with that, like, if he has none of his recovery resources, like, he doesn't have much to defend himself with, you could even, like, needle cancel and then, like, jump forward, because his down air hits like this, right? So we could just, like, slap him here, although he can counter. So the best option here for safety is just grabbing the edge.
Right.
You could also forward tilt and like fair him because he has to drift forward to like make it back, but like he might fast fall, do up B, weird stuff, so just grab the edge. But you have like, the point is you have like a lot of options here that are like really like this to me is a checkmate almost, like with how good this spot is. Now you still get it, but like we didn't have to like make it, we didn't have to risk him like teching that, right?
Yeah.
That's obviously a mistake. Oh no. Oof. How did that even happen?
Ooh, that was two quick stocks.
So let's see here. So when you get hit by Marth's down tilt like this, and you can't, okay, got it.
I should have just been more careful. Like,
yeah, you had your double jump. You could have just like double jumped and not gone for the up B. What were you thinking though?
Oh, I also like. I mean, I just didn't think he was gonna grab ledge fast enough here, and so I thought I was just gonna get to, I was gonna get to grab ledge, and so then I didn't up B at the right spot, and I definitely could have just gone back onto stage instead of going for the ledge sweet spot.
Yeah, I also think you could have like gone for like an easier angle. Like if you had just been like a slightly further back, like not gone full forward here, like gone like slightly further, like slightly away to use your like full grab box, then you would have also had more space to like more easily go forward. Because I think that what happened here is you got kind of close to it, so then you just went up anyway. Because it would be like hard to get this angle, and I think that, yeah. But I might just be like looking too far into it, but it just looked awkward. Like, it looked awkward to go for the stage because of how close we were. Might have still been able to do it, but I think that, like, yeah, we want to use our full grab box if we can. Because it also keeps us further away from him. Do you find short hopping difficult, or do you just, like, really like the full hop, like, zone?
I like the full hop zone against Marth.
Okay. I do like it at mid-range, but I feel like when we're going close to him, it's just, I find it backfires too much, personally. I like the short hop more. I guess with the side platforms, it's better. Like, this is a spot where I'd consider... Like, that was a spot there that I'd consider, like, full hopping and using the platforms. Because, like, you see how he's, like, you're kind of far away from each other? Because you're far away, my thinking is we can use the needles to, like, zone the front to then, like, allow us to, like, take stage. But in these closer quarters, I like the short hop more, I think. Although it's, like, tricky to use. And what could we have done here? Yeah, needle usage is, like, I think that if there's one thing I'm noticing, using your needles more effectively, I think will give you, like, tons of return on investment. Because there's one thing I noticed about this needle edge guard. So look at how you do your needles when he's, like, when you hit him off stage, right? So what I'm thinking is, like, you'd shoot it here when you're at the peak of your jump. But I think that you could actually have a good chance of being able to follow up if you had delayed it slightly, so that you're falling, it's closer to when you start falling down.
Okay.
Because then you'd be like here you'd be like landed, I think, at the time this hits him, and I think you could potentially like grab the edge before he can, or even run off fair him. Yeah. So I think that delaying those needles, like, would make some amount of sense. Like, delaying that falling needle just a little, like, that needle just a little bit further. Like, falling needle is so good. I can't stress how good falling needle is. What was your winner's finals set against him?
What'd you say?
What was your winner's finals? What was your winner's set against this guy like?
Let's see. There were some really close games, and it ended 3-1. The games were close, but it looked not too different from this.
Okay.
Like, minus the 3 stock on Yoshi's. I don't think that happened.
Okay. Yeah, this is competitive, but I totally have... I've had tournaments where you just don't feel like... You have other things on the go, and you can't, like, play... You know, you can't just sit through, like, 11 games of Marth Sheik.
Yeah.
I hope you're not beating yourself up over, like, that, because I just think that if we're, like, going to treat this as, like, the pinnacle of our Marth Sheik prowess, that's just not really reasonable, because your attention was split.
Oh, I mean, no, it's not. I was actually very happy after this tournament because, I mean, double eliminating Melon is super exciting.
Okay.
And he's a Marth who, like, I mean, he is a better Marth than Takeshi, just not in this matchup. But in, like, probably almost any other matchup. Just that, like, he's such a Takeshi. And then, and Sheik is just a crack, like, I don't know. Sheik is something else. Very consistent against the mid-level, doesn't really get upset. I beat Malachi last week. Just, like, cracked player.
So you beat him and Melon. So, like, you felt really good about... So you felt good. Okay, good.
Yes. I stuck to my game. So before I play Foxes now, I look at the notes that I have from our coaching session. And I just, like, do that every time, and so it becomes more and more ingrained every time that's my game plan. And it like, just worked. It totally worked. I didn't overextend in the corner. I didn't, like, throw out these randy dash attacks and stuff. I just played. I protected the ground space under plat. I did the whole shebang, and it fucking worked. And so that felt amazing. I don't know. I'm, like, trying to view tournaments much more as, like, did I follow my game plan rather than did I win or lose? Or, like, I guess I'm like, did my game plan allow me to win some sets?
Yeah, like, did it work as intended? And if not,
Yes.
then what could be better? Like, what's missing? What do we not have? That makes sense. One thing I would say is that when you're in these scrapping situations, like these mid-rangey fights, you basically always go for dash attack, but I'm just gonna kind of implore you to you mix in boost grab as well.
I know. Like my I don't know if you've ever heard of Speedy Sloth, but Speedy Sloth is like helps me to run my tournaments, and he does stream and stuff, and he also sometimes offers me a little bit of coaching, and he is like, dude, just boost grab. You gotta boost grab. He is a huge boost grab believer.
I mean, it's really good. It's like it's her it's arguably her best burst option. It probably is, but it's like it's more contentious nowadays, like now that we've gotten better at run cancel forward tilt, and like dash attack is probably not the best one, but like it still has the best like ROI in some matchups. So it's just, it is what it is. But like for this one, this is a great dash attack. But like there's ones where he's been shielding a lot after you've hit the dash attack. I just think that like the way that maybe by boost grabbing we can get him to not shield so much, and then we can hit even more dash attacks in the long run.
They were just like there I had like the corner. I should have had him cornered, and I just like totally fucked up, and then now I'm like getting tippered off stage at 60. I'm like, hey, fuck me. But like I think it was about this point in the set that I was like, I think this is over. I don't think I have it in me to beat this guy twice right now.
And that's okay, because there will always be next time.
Yeah.
It's still okay to feel annoyed about the loss or like not feel happy about it. It's a loss. They're not supposed to feel good. But again, we don't want it to ruin our whole week or anything either.
No, dude. I was happy. Like beating Sheik felt awesome. Beating Melon felt awesome. I wanted to win the tournament. It definitely was a tournament that I could have won. So it's unfortunate that I let it like slip past me, but also I'm also trying to just do very well at Maryland and DC events, because we have like me and a few other like TOs are running this thing called the Maryland DC circuit. And basically it's going to be like there's going to be a summit style event for players who meet certain attendance requirements and make the PR and stuff. And with my current results, I'm definitely going to be on this PR. I might have a pretty good spot on it too. So I'm hyped to see how well I can do in region, in this sort of this sub-region of MDVA that's Maryland and DC.
That's amazing. I honestly, summit style events are like one of the best things to happen to this community. So I'm really glad that you're pushing for I'm really glad that's like a source of motivation. That's awesome. So I would say that I think that part of the problem with like just boost grab is that it doesn't really give you much of an incentive, and I know how much you like to hit the dash attack because of the sound and because it leads to the sicker combos, real talk. But here's the thing. Especially after we've like successfully initiated with dash attack a few times, the opponent is going to play around it, especially if they're taking 60 plus damage every time we hit them with it, right? So I think that it is important to remember that dash attack it has a niche, but it needs support sometimes. It's why it's not her best move. Her best moves are the ones that like operate well independently of the rest of her kit. This is why her grab is so good. It's why her needles are so good. It's why her fair and bear are so good. It's why her F tilt is so good. Dash attack needs support. It is a very powerful payoff tool, but it's something that we do that supplements her core kit. And it's a very powerful part of that, but at the same time, we still can't let it like get in the way of using our good basics, And the ups...
It used to be my lazy fishing option. Not even lazy. I had to beat it out of myself. Like one of my main practice partners, primary. But I'm actually gonna go play at his place this evening, right after I'm done with this. His name is Mr. Sun.
Oh, I've heard his name a few times. Yeah, he's good.
He is cracked, and he's just cracked at all the high tiers. He plays all the high tiers, and so and I've managed to figure them all out. And like I can beat his Fox, I can beat his Marth, I can beat his Falco, his Falcon, but now it's his Peach and his Puff. But now he's Sheik dittoing me, and he doesn't chain grab me. But man, is his Sheik something else? Because he was a Sheik main originally for like 5 years or something, or maybe even 6 years. So like it's always been like a very comfortable character for him. He just got the edge of me there. But he was the one who was like, you know, I played a lot with Fox, and he was like, dude, you really gotta stop. He's the one who got me to stop like spamming shield grab. He's also the one who got me to stop throwing out dash attack in the corner, just like willy-nilly all the time, like just trying to fish. He's like, bro, I am reacting. I am Fox. I'm faster than you. I can like literally react to you running at me. If I'm like at CC %, I'll just CC it. If I'm not, I'll just dash back and then punish it because there's so much end lag on it, or just like jump over it or anything.
Absolutely. I'm just adding some notes to your notes, because you have some very good ones, and I have some small things that, as I'm seeing them, I'm starting to remember.
Empty hop. Empty shore hop fast.
Yeah, especially good on the low side plat stages where your tilts and up smash hit through the platform.
I definitely see Falcons do that a good amount.
Yeah. So what else? Pressure Marth on plat in different ways. Yada yada. That's good. Blah 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 blah.
Honestly, this improvements to needle usage and mix-ups are going to be huge, because it's like it's just not. He's playing around it in a like, you know, me and my opponents, my other Marth opponents were like playing at level 2, and Takeshi's like doing it at level 3. So I like just need to meet him where he's at.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it sounds like he's put a lot of effort into ironing out this matchup. And sure. You've been able, and you know what, this often happens with Sheik Marth. Like, a lot of times the Sheik player can kind of coast for a little bit just with like basics, and that's fine because it is a favorable matchup in my opinion. Like, and it's my firm belief this is a winning matchup. But and as a result of that, we don't have to like put in the same effort for like a good chunk of our like time against Marth as he does against us. But you know, we make up for it by having to work harder versus Fox. But at the end of, but what this means is there comes a point usually where it's like the Sheik player feels really lost because they go up against the Marth player and he's like refined his game plan and we haven't, and then we're like, oh god, what do we do? And it's like, oh wait, we just have to like do the same thing we do against like Fox kind of, but like it's much easier because the spacings and the penalties are much more defined, and there's more like concrete counterplay. Yeah, so this is normal. Where you're at is totally normal in this matchup.
Yeah, I feel it. And this is my first time really breaking it down and studying it, so I've already seen the growth I'm making in other matchups. I think that if I just keep working at it, I'll flesh it out, figure it out. And I know that this is our fourth session. Are you interested in continuing to keep me as a student?
Absolutely I am. What type of insane question is that? You and Louise bring...
So my roommate is Mo Money, and you never answered Mo Money.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I am very disorganized, and I've had some life things come up, so I just haven't been very on the ball with new people. So that is that is a me problem. But, yeah, like, if you just tell him to, like, bug me again, then, like, I'll answer. But, yeah, no, that's on me. That has nothing to do with you. That's just me having life stuff come up.
Fair enough. Let me get because you do PayPal only, right?
Yeah, I don't have, unfortunately, Canada doesn't have Venmo.
That's wild. They don't have Cash App either?
No, because we have e-transfer directly between banks.
Wild, okay. Let me see. PayPal, here it is. So, should we do like another 4 or?
If that is what you would like, 4 would be 120, just like last time.
Awesome, perfect.
Yep.
I will go ahead and send that over, but other than that.
And so we're just gonna keep the current schedule. Or do you want to break it up to bi-weekly? Like, what works for you?
Bi-weekly could actually be good, yeah. Actually, I kind of like the sound of that.
So I'll see you on the 29th then?
Yeah, I'll see you on the 29th. I want. Alright, let me do this real quick.
Perfect. You really thought I was gonna say, like, no? Really?
No, I didn't think you would, but I thought there was a very small chance that you were like, well, my work schedule is very busy now, or like, life things or something, and, can't really...
My dude, you are my work schedule.
I know, dude. But anyway, okay, did I just send it?
Let me check PayPal. I don't see any... Oh, there we go. I just got it. We good.
Dope. Alright, thank you, KK, and I will catch you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good, Kush. I will probably poke you around Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday next week to just see how things are going with this stuff we covered today. It'll probably be like a quick chat, like probably over text or maybe over call for like 5 or 10 minutes. But it's just a touch base to make sure that we're not, to make sure that things are moving in the right direction, and if you have any questions about things or like have any follow-up at that point that we need to address quickly, we can do it then. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Just hit me up whenever, and hopefully I'll have some news about Marth.
Fantastic. We'll talk soon. I'm gonna get to my next person, but yeah, thank you so much for this. Send that guy my way. No, send him my way. And yeah, I hope you have a great time with Mr. Sun.
Thank you. Peace, KK.
Later.